Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. This is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So I have some facts. We haven't done those in a while.
Okay.
So, though less common than earthquakes, the moon actually has moonquakes.
I wonder why. What causes earthquakes?
Isn't it like the tectonic plates shifting underneath us or something?
So I guess the moon has those too?
I guess.
Interesting.
You actually lose a large percentage of your taste buds while on an airplane.
What?
This might explain a lot about those less than stellar in-flight meals or why you find yourself craving salty foods when in the sky. I don't know. It doesn't explain why.
I didn't know that your taste buds even did anything.
Yeah. It says you lose a large percentage of your taste buds.
That's
Where
really
do they
weird.
go?
Yeah, what happens to them?
Are they just scared of flying?
I don't know.
Your small intestine is actually the largest internal organ in your body. So you probably know that snails are pretty slow, but did you know that they also take the longest naps? One nap can last up to 3 years.
Oh, shit. Well, what's there really to be awake for if you're a snail?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's like, well, I can walk slowly somewhere or sleep. Birds need gravity to swallow. Bees can sting other bees.
Fuckers.
Tigers have striped skin as well as fur. Cats can taste anything that's sweet. Or they can't taste anything that's sweet. But they like salty foods.
Do they?
Dolphins have incredible sonar abilities. They were studied as war tools during the Cold War, and they really are as smart as people say.
Dolphins are cool.
Sea lions are the only animal that can clap to a beat.
That's funny.
That's smart, though.
Yeah, that's funny. I want to see one grooving
That would be
to some music.
amazing.
That would be great.
Koalas have unique individual fingerprints, like humans.
So they can't get away with shit.
Nope. Everyone has a different tongue print. Your brain uses 10 watts of energy to think.
So we're energy efficient? Is that what it's saying?
Apparently. Brendan Fraser almost died while filming The Mummy. He passed out. It was pretty scary. These are very vague.
Yeah.
In a group of 23 people, there's a 50% chance that 2 will share the same birthday.
Really? Huh. I figured it'd be a bigger percentage of people.
Yeah. Will Ferrell consumed so much sugar while filming Elf that he actually became physically ill. That's weird, I just mentioned Elf.
You did.
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
The average person spends 2 weeks of their life sitting at traffic lights. I've already said that, but it was 6 months on the other list.
Yeah, mine is way less than that.
The Hollywood sign in Los Angeles once said Hollywoodland, but it was changed in 1949.
I actually knew that one.
The most expensive film ever made was Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Costs $378 million to create.
Dang.
In the movie E.T., someone squished their hands in jelly to make the sound effect for E.T. walking around.
That's gross.
Buzz Lightyear's original name is Larry Lunar. Or Lunar Larry, sorry. Dyslexic. Iceland grows 5 centimeters per year because of moving tectonic plates. Russia has 11 time zones.
Dang.
That's crazy.
How big is Is Russia bigger than America?
Russia is not bigger than America, I don't believe, but it's pretty big. I think. I don't fucking know. I wish I did. Let's see. The Sahara Desert can reach up to 136 degrees. Its average temperature is actually about 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Blech.
Yeah, awful.
Don't want it.
Australia is wider than the moon.
Dang.
Vatican City is actually the smallest country in the world at only 0.2 miles wide.
What?
That's what it says. I don't know.
Huh.
There are more people in California than Canada.
There's another place I won't be going.
Yeah. The closest state in the United States to Africa is Maine.
There's a place I would like to go to, Maine.
Maine is the only state that has a single syllable name. That's interesting.
I did not know that.
Russia has more surface area than Pluto.
So it's pretty big.
Pretty big. Yeah. The heart of a shrimp is located in its head. Slugs have 4 noses.
What for?
It says they don't work like human noses do. Instead, they sense chemicals, sounds, lights, and more. So they do lots with their nose, apparently. Noses. Takes a sloth 2 to 4 weeks to digest food.
Jeez.
The slowest metabolic system of any mammal.
Is that why they move so slow?
Maybe.
They don't have the energy.
There's only one country on Earth without mosquitoes. It's Iceland.
Oh, well, yeah, I can see that. I don't think anything can live in Iceland, can it? Except things that are meant for cold weather, I guess.
Well, I think Iceland is green and Greenland is ice.
Oh.
So I think Iceland is like leafy.
Oh. Well, that is weird then.
Oh, lobsters pee out of their face.
Ew. That's gross.
And they do it to attract mates.
Ew. Nasty. Damn animals. Or crustaceans. Whatever.
Freddie Mercury had 4 extra teeth on his upper jaw.
Oh, that's weird.
Clocking in at 1,560 words, Rap God by Eminem is the song with the most words. The world's longest concert lasted 453 hours.
Ew.
Fun.
That does not sound fun. At all.
It takes 70 different pieces of wood to make a violin.
Wow.
All clownfish are born male.
Well, how do they get baby clownfish?
They have the ability to change their sex later on.
Oh.
It's just a choice. A group of porcupines is called a prickle.
That's cute.
Abraham Lincoln, who was famously tall at 6'4", was also a competitive wrestler, a successful competitive wrestler.
That seems weird.
What?
To be that tall and be a wrestler?
Yeah.
Huh.
It says he was successful, though, so it must have been pretty good.
That's interesting.
That's hot.
What?
I love Abraham Lincoln.
Huh?
I love Abraham Lincoln.
I know you do, but... Okay.
Have you seen pictures of him when, like, he started his presidency and, like, near the end of his presidency?
No.
Holy shit. He aged big time.
Oh.
Lots of stress. Lots of stress. It has to be because, oh my God, he looks so different. Finland has more saunas than cars.
Really?
Volleyball and basketball were both invented in Massachusetts.
Volleyball and what?
Basketball.
Oh.
The heaviest onion ever grown was 18 pounds.
Okay.
Canada actually eats more macaroni and cheese than any other place. The famous Sesame Street character Cookie Monster's real name is Sid.
I did not know that.
If you play tennis at Wimbledon, swearing is not allowed.
They can't stop everyone from swearing.
Says judges have to learn swear words in different languages in order to enforce the rule. Least fun job ever. Glass balls can actually bounce higher than rubber balls.
What?
I don't know. That's what it says. I didn't know there was such thing as a glass ball. And wouldn't it break if you bounced it?
Yeah.
Weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they're just making stuff up.
I think they might be.
Well, shit. Let's see. The heaviest watermelon in the Guinness Book of World Records is 350 pounds. Holy crap.
That's a big watermelon.
Yeah. Mary Stuart was just 6 days old when she became Queen of Scotland.
That sucks.
Cows can only walk upstairs, not down.
Why is someone walking cows up and down stairs?
Well, they're just up. They won't go back down.
How the hell do they get them back down?
Bananas are curved because they grow toward the sun. The oldest living animal, reportedly, is a tortoise named Jonathan, who is 190.
Phew.
St. Lucia is the only country in the world named after a woman.
Not surprised.
Mm-hmm. The British royal family isn't allowed to play Monopoly because it gets too competitive.
You're all in timeout.
Nobody can play Monopoly ever again.
Sore losers.
Queen Elizabeth only wore one nail polish color, which was Essie's ballet slippers.
Boring.
There's a town in Norway called Hell. If you put together all of the time characters sitting in silence in Twilight, it would amount to 26 minutes. That's funny.
I was watching some TikToks the other day, and I guess Robert Pattinson did not like the Twilight series at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And he did not like the Stephanie,
Why?
whatever. He said she was a crazy lady.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It was funny. It like showed clips of him like in various interviews.
Yeah.
And they would ask him something and he would be like, trying to think of a nice way to say something.
That's funny. Jennifer Lawrence has a tattoo that says H2O on her hand to remind her to drink water.
Oh my God. Seriously.
Ryan Gosling was almost a Backstreet Boy.
That's funny. I wonder if in a different dimension he actually is.
Totally. Ryan Gosling, Backstreet Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Aniston was almost a Saturday Night Live cast member. Jamie Lee Curtis is Jake Gyllenhaal's godmother. And my last one, you can eat the labels on fruit. They're totally edible most of the time.
Ew.
They just might not taste very good. Very good.
Most of the time. How are you supposed to know which ones are and which ones aren't?
Well, try to eat it, and if it doesn't work out...
That's all right. I'll just keep peeling them off like I usually do. All right. I just did spooky stories.
Okay.
And hope we haven't done these before.
Who knows?
I was in my grandparents' kitchen with my cousin, talking about all the important things that 9-year-olds have to discuss. We were both seated in swivel chairs perpendicular to a hallway, which ended with a door on the left to the cellar and a door on the right to the bathroom. Suddenly, I see a white cat waltz across the hall from out of the cellar and into the bathroom. My cousin spins back around and stares at me, mouth open and eyes wide. She asks if I just saw the cat walk by, and I nod. The two of us get up and walk cautiously to the end of the hallway. The cellar door was closed and latched, and the bathroom was completely empty. I still have no idea what we saw, but it was creepy that we'd both seen the same thing.
That is creepy, but also very cute.
It is cute. Have you heard that one before?
No.
Okay. When I was a kid, I went on a family trip to see the beaches where the Allies landed at, as me and my dad were both interested. We visited a bunker, but before we went in, I told my dad we couldn't go in yet as there was someone already in there speaking. My dad ignored me and walked in to find it completely empty. A few years later, he found a video that stated people would often hear German soldiers in the same bunker.
Ooh, that's crazy. I would like to do something like that.
Yeah.
Hear someone clearly talking and then go in and...
That would be spooky.
Yeah. But not too spooky, so I think I could handle that.
Yeah. It'd be more like weird spooky.
Yeah.
My friend and I went out stargazing one night. It was a clear night and the moon was full and really bright. We were looking towards the moon, and then right beside the moon, these 3 lights appeared out of nowhere, forming an upside-down triangle. They were just as bright or slightly brighter than the moon. The top 2 lights faded off fairly quickly, and the bottom light faded shortly after while moving up in a squiggly line. This whole sighting lasted about 15 seconds. If my friend wasn't there, I would be questioning what the heck that was. Still am, of course. But seeing as he was there, we both know what the fuck we saw. Unreal.
It's crazy, and it's crazy to think that they're actually out there.
Oh yeah, something's out there. This isn't as scary as the stories that are already here, but I still think about it with the same shock factor as I had then. My friend was in the hospital for a surgery for her legs, and I went up there with a few friends to visit her, keep her company. While all of us were in there, her mom and our 2 other friends, just sitting around talking, this rocking chair just starts moving. It's right by my friend in the hospital bed, just rocking as steadily as can be. I was freaked the fuck out. I stopped it, put my hand on it, and it started again. It wasn't rocking hard, just slowly like someone was sitting in it. I checked all around it, and there were no strings, there was no draft, no one was touching it, even the slightest. There was no possible explanation for it to be moving. My friend's mom thought it was her father coming to see her daughter in the hospital. She was not freaked out in the slightest, didn't even question it. I still think about it all the time.
That's creepy.
That is creepy. A lot of abandoned roads where I grew up. It was a small town where a lot of people started buildings before the economy went to shit in 2007, thus leaving a bunch of abandoned half-constructed houses and empty half-built roads leading to dead ends. It was a perfect place to drive to when I first got my license to go smoke some weed with buddies. We were in my car hanging out in an abandoned road when my car shut off, turning the lights off completely. We were in pitch darkness. I held my breath and hoped the car hadn't died on me and turned the key. The car started right up and flashed the lights on to the dead end up ahead. A man dressed in a very old-school suit and top hat was standing there with a briefcase. We were in the middle of nowhere, no houses or anything for miles. It was 6 of us stuffed in this car. We all saw him. We all screamed. I never put a car in reverse so fast. By the time I adjusted myself to back out, he was gone.
That's so weird. What are they doing? Why would it be out in the middle of nowhere with a top hat and a briefcase?
Unless it was like a residual and it was just doing something that it used to do.
It's so weird.
Yeah. A few years ago, I was at home with my family. My house was fairly small, so noise traveled well throughout the structure. I can't remember the exact time, but if my memory serves me correct, it was around 10 p.m. The sound system in my brother's room went full volume without anyone even being in the room. The music was at its loudest and obviously startled the whole family before we ran into the room and switched it off. This is where it gets strange. The same night, after the sound system almost blew the speakers on its own, we later heard the water running in the kitchen sink. We went to investigate, and one of the taps was on full flow. Again, it was very strange, as one would physically have to turn the tap to open the valve. As cliché as this may sound, it was very cold when I went into the kitchen to investigate the kitchen event. The fact of the matter is that both of these events happened in the same night and definitely spooked the family a little.
So I want to know if they had anything else happen except for that one night.
It sounds like it was just happened that one night. So it was just someone passing through?
Just fuck with them a little bit, then went on their way?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I want to hear some music.
People suck, even in death.
And then on the way out, I'm going to wash my hands in the kitchen and I'm going to leave.
At least they wash their hands. But full blast fucking music, that is terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
If that happened to me, I think I would have a heart attack and die.
Well, the noise alone would be horrible. But the fact that no one did it.
Yeah,
that's...
heart attack.
Yeah. When my brother and I were really young, probably around 6 or 7, we lived in a small 2-bed and 1-bath apartment. One night, it was just me and my brother sleeping in the bedroom. My parents slept with us on another bed, and we heard a thud in the bathroom. We were both awake, so we decided to investigate. The lights were on, and I heard clipping sounds from a scissor. I put my ear up to the door, and sure enough, someone was in the bathroom using scissors. I knocked on the door and called out for my parents, but there were no answers. I opened the door, and the bathroom was empty. My parents must have been in the other room, but I always wondered why the bathroom lights were on and what I heard. I turned off the lights, and my brother and I ran back to our beds, spooked as fuck.
Weird.
Yeah, just weird noises. Just
what the fuck?
And the light being on.
Someone just needed to trim their beard real quick. And then
I saw several UFOs in one night. It was definitely not just helicopters or planes or stars. These things moved like nothing else. Triangular patterns and near instantaneous jumps from one point to another. It all started when my brother saw a green ball of fire falling out of the sky. We went looking and found a lot. The thing that convinced me was when I saw a spaceship just blink into existence right in front of me and tilt while flying away. It was pretty damn low, 50 to 70 feet above a row of houses, totally silent, no wind coming off of it. The other ships fell into a large triangle behind it. It disappeared again. I saw a black helicopter following its path, but we were on foot and couldn't keep up. If you want more details, I'll provide them, but this is the basic story. I have never felt so insane as I did telling people about it afterwards, even though it is 100% true and accurate.
That does sound crazy, though.
It does.
What the fuck?
But there's so many people.
Yeah, I mean, and even the, government has come out and said that things are totally real. And
I even believe that they saw a helicopter following
Absolutely. Crazy.
Back when I was a kid, I had a scooter, non-motorized, that I would ride until the tires popped, and kept riding once Dad replaced the tires. One day I was riding around in the neighborhood cul-de-sac when I saw a bright, thin blue line appear in front of me. I rode through it since I had no time to stop. When I was able to stop and turn around, the light was gone. I have no idea what that light was, and I have never been able to find out, but I know it was there, and I rode through it.
That's strange. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Weird.
Not something I saw, but when I was around 10, we had an old piano in the basement. At night, I would hear the most beautiful music being played on it. I'm not much of a believer in the supernatural, but I've never been able to come up with an explanation. I'm the only one in my family with any sort of musical talent, and not much at that. And this piano was incredibly out of tune and missing a couple strings.
Huh.
When I was 11, maybe 12, I was inside our house's bonus room, basically just an extra large room we used to put all of our gaming stuff and a couch and TV. I was alone and was sitting or standing next to my couch when suddenly, as if it were really happening right in front of me, I both saw and heard chanting and beating drums as though a campfire with a Native American tribe was inside the room with me. The outlines of people dancing and chanting around a fire and beating drums while spinning around the whole ceiling. It felt like it lasted maybe 20 seconds. I had never been so awestruck and terrified in my life. I felt absolutely chilled. I only ever had supernatural experience maybe once before this and could have otherwise been unsure, but after that I can't doubt it. I later found out our neighborhood was built on or near Native American burial grounds.
It's so weird that, like, is it just random? Did they just see residual stuff that used to happen there? Or, like, what is that?
I don't know. Well, residual is like basically like a recording.
Right.
So it could be random. It could be like a burst of energy. And, you know.
Someone just happens to be there to see it?
Yeah.
Weird.
This image is burned in my memory. I'm still not sure if it was a really wild dream, sleepwalking, or it actually happened. So when I was about 7 or 8, I had a really weird dream where I went outside at night and there were these kids in the backyard. It was a summer night and there was a breeze blowing. I clearly remember the warm wind and the grass on my ankles. These kids, I think a boy and a girl, I wanted to play, and I never thought of it because I was a kid too. And how cool was it to play at night? There was something off about them. They had grayish-colored skin and light hair, although still human-looking. We played around on the swing set until I looked up in the sky and I see this eye. Basically, a giant normal human eye that was a green color and looked like it was just projected in the sky. It blinks once, and when I looked down again, the kids were gone. The next day, my mom swears that either my sister, who had a history of sleepwalking, or me, came into the house after she got home from work late at night. Did that make sense?
Were they dreaming?
They said they didn't know if they were dreaming, sleepwalking, or it actually happened.
Huh.
I think they were dreaming.
Weird. Yeah, it does sound like a dream.
And this is my last one. I experienced the same day twice. This was in 2nd or 3rd grade. I woke up and had my normal breakfast and noted that the same cartoons were playing as yesterday, but reruns weren't uncommon. Went to school and was confused why we were going over the same stuff as yesterday, but didn't question it. Review wasn't uncommon. It wasn't until the end of the day we had an extra 20 minutes, so the teacher was playing Guess the Number 1 through 100, higher or lower. And you get a piece of candy if you won. So the first round starts and people make their guesses, and the first number was 50, and that's what it was yesterday. I remembered it was 49 after because it was one less, and then 99 because it was one less than 100, and then 35, which was her age. I told her I knew what she was picking because these were the numbers she picked yesterday. She said we didn't play this yesterday and thought I could see the board, so when I got to 35, she just scribbled on a piece of paper under her hand. When I told her it was 35, she turned white and said, "We're not playing anymore," and we never played again.
Oh. I love those stories.
Those are so creepy.
I know. And like what, the next day they just woke up and it was fine? Like,
yeah, I
next
guess.
Day? Weird.
Could you imagine living afterwards and knowing that you repeated a whole day?
No way. That is creepy.
With no explanation.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Okay, I did something a little different. I have people who had encounters with serial killers tell their tales.
Okay.
During my 2nd year of teaching, there was a long-term sub across the hallway from me that I had a good relationship with, and he always came to me for help when he needed it. He was a former college football star at our local university and was a volunteer coach for the football program at the nearby high school. On the last day of school, the day after students left, we were all wrapping things up before leaving for the summer. We walked past each other in the hallway, and I greeted him simply by saying, "What's up, Mr. Johnson?" Not a word back from him. He didn't even look at me, just had a 1,000-yard stare down the other end of the hallway. 2 days later, I turn on the news, and the headline story was local substitute teacher arrested for triple murder. He had killed his own son, niece, and brother later that day that I saw him in that hallway.
Ew, that's super creepy.
Next one, my dad believed he had the Zodiac Killer as a patient way back in the very early 70s when he was an active serial killer. My dad's practice was in Richmond, California, in the eastern half of the San Francisco Bay Area. This patient was always the last patient of the day. He was always talking about the case, bragging about all the weapons he had, and he even resembled the sketch of him. Dad was a first lieutenant infantry, tail end of World War II, and did not scare. This patient, though, gave my dad the creeps. Finally, my dad gave the cops a sample of this patient's handwriting. Shortly after this, he stopped being seen by my dad. Next one, when I was a teen, from 16 to 18, I worked at a local grocery store on the front end. There was this incredibly creepy guy who was about my dad's age, so almost 30 years older than me, who used to come in every day and get cigarettes and Lotto. He was constantly asking me and every other young female working if we wanted to come to his house and party. He said he had weed and would get whatever booze we wanted. Nobody ever took him up on it. He had this gaze that you could feel even if your back was turned, and would make really sleazy comments to and about us, and act as if we should have been flattered by this attention. This was in the late 90s. Turns out he was arrested about 5 years ago for the murder of a 15-year-old girl, Tracy Gilpin, in 1986, when he was close to 30 years old. His name was Michael Hand. You'll see exactly how creepy he is if you look him up.
Nasty fucker.
Seriously. Next one, when I was in Denver with my ex a few years back, we had just gotten off the light rail, maybe 5 or 6 blocks from our Airbnb, and there was this guy trying to get a ticket for the train. As we were walking past, he explained he was like 50 cents short and asked if we could spare some change. All I had was a 5. I hand it to him and realize as he's grabbing the cash that he has blood splattered on his hand. I look up and make eye contact, and he has more blood spattered on his face and a huge grin. Time stopped for a second, then he asked me if I wanted my change. I told him no, grabbed my ex by the hand, and started hurrying away, looking over my shoulder every few seconds. He stood still as a statue, watching us walk away until we turned a corner. We found a church and hunkered down in the doorway and called an Uber for the remaining 4 blocks of our walk. The next day we were flying out and saw a news story about a murder that happened in the neighborhood we were staying in that night. Someone was stabbed to death near the train tracks at about 10 p.m. We had gotten off the train at around 11. Can't confirm, but I may have met the murderer and given him $5 to help him evade the scene.
What would you do?
What could you do?
You know it'd be all over your face that you know something's wrong.
Oh, God.
They were lucky they were able to leave.
Yeah. Next one, basically, back in the 80s, my mom lived in a bedsit. Bedsit.
Okay.
Which is basically shared accommodation for those who don't know, and had some guy knock on the door around 11 p.m. All the other young women she lived with had went out earlier in the evening to go out drinking, but my mom stayed back due to work the next day. My mom, being the wise person she is, thank God, otherwise I probably wouldn't be here today typing this, didn't open the door to him, but opted to shout out the window asking who it was. Some dude stood there with a baseball cap on, briefcase in hand, and insisted he had a business meeting with the business below the bedsit. Throughout the conversation, he refused to look directly at her and didn't want to leave. My mom thought this was strange, especially at 11 p.m., so effectively told him to go away and contact whoever he was supposed to be meeting, and she reported it to the police. Turns out it was the bedsit killer, and my mom could have potentially been his victim that night. She got a call back in 2021 from detectives saying remanded a guy on suspicion of rapes and killings of 2 women back in the 80s through DNA. Someone in his family, I believe, got put on file. That's how they eventually made that crucial link. And they highly suspected it was the man on the doorstep that night from descriptions in her report, and wanted to use this as evidence in court. My mom lived one road over from one of the victims who coincidentally shared the same name as her and looked similar. We got invited to the sentencing at court and managed to see him in the dock, and my mom thought it was definitely the man from that night. He got a whole life sentence for the murders and other crimes. Oh, that was it. That's scary.
It always makes me so mad when they finally catch a killer, but it's like 20 or 30 years later, and they were all free and shit.
Live their life, fuckers.
I guess it's better than them not catching any at all.
I guess, but
still.
Yeah. My grandparents bought their house in Tacoma, Washington from Ted Bundy's great-uncle. They were apparently super close, and Ted spent a lot of time at their house when he was a kid. I only found this out recently, and it's a little disconcerting, I think, that around the same time Ted Bundy was killing dozens of women, I was a toddler spending weekends with my grandma in his old house.
Yeah.
That's got to be creepy.
Yeah.
I had a run-in a long time ago. A man almost ran into me and looked me dead in the eyes, then suddenly laid down on the sidewalk directly in front of me. My initial reaction was trying to help him, but something was holding me back. I had a real bad feeling about him, so I was stuck in a dilemma of wanting to help him, but also bad gut feeling about it. Eventually, I went on my way and felt horrible, but a week later, this man randomly killed 3 women and injured 9, including a child. He just snapped and stabbed them out of nowhere. They also say he had a misogynistic motive, so to this day, I'm grateful for once I didn't try and help. God knows what he would have done.
Yeah, don't help.
No, you can't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't. Next one, my mom went on a blind date and got weird vibes, so she ghosted the guy. A few years later, he was on the news for killing 8 people, his ex-girlfriend and her whole family, before dying himself. She still remembers him talking about this canoe he made and he was proud of, then seeing it in his front lawn on the news coverage.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
Yeah. My sister used to work as a security guard at a mall in Colorado. When she was just leaving work at 3 p.m., you notice that people say, like, 3 p.m. in the afternoon?
I haven't really paid attention.
Oh my God, it happens so much. It drives me insane.
It's like, when else would it be?
I know, that's what PM is. Like, dude, that's what PM is. It means in the afternoon.
So either say 3 in the afternoon or 3 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you. Like 3 a.m. in the morning. No, stop. That's the second one that I've had to cut. 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I hate that. Anyway, sorry. So she was leaving one afternoon, 3 p.m. A strange man comes up to her asking if he can use her phone. She points to the public phone and tells him he can use that one. He insists on using her phone, and when she denied him a second time, he pulls out a gun and tells her to drive him somewhere. She immediately gets into the vehicle and drives with him in the passenger seat, having no idea where he's going to direct her. After driving 15 minutes, he then tells her to pull over to the side of the road and proceeds to take her purse, wedding ring, and the key to her car and tells her to get in the trunk. So she does what he asks. For whatever reason, the trunk was not locked, so while he was just barely hitting the gas to go, she managed to jump out of the car going about 20 miles an hour. Later, after finding that guy had smashed the car into the side of the road, the police find him and also find out that he's killed a 70-year-old man after stealing his money. I don't know what I would do without my big sister. She's the light of my life as well as her two beautiful children. That's scary.
Don't they say to do everything you can not to get in the car? Once you get in the car, it's done.
Yeah, don't go to a second location.
Yeah.
They will not take you there safely. Next one, I accidentally met Jeffrey Dahmer in Milwaukee the summer before he was caught. It was late at night and I was drunk and lost. My friends were going to school in Milwaukee and I came up to visit. He pulled up and offered me a ride and a telephone back at his apartment to give them a call. I jump in and started having super creepy vibes about him. I got to his apartment and he offered a beer before the phone. It just all felt as creepy as could be. I literally ran out of the door and down the street as fast as I could. He chased me for about a half a block but couldn't keep up. Oh my God.
I guess if you're going to be a serial killer, you need to stay in shape.
Yeah, I guess. You would think that was like good exercise. That's a lot of work cutting up people, right?
Yeah, you would think so. I don't know personally, but...
Well, maybe it's more upper body strength.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the running part isn't.
Not much stamina.
No. And this is my last one. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness as a kid. That thing where they go around knocking on doors and preach to you, I was doing that with my mom and a few others. We walked up this slanted driveway with trees on each side. They couldn't see my mom and me from the street in the car. We knocked on the door. Everything was normal, except this time I got hit by something I couldn't see. My ears started ringing and buzzing like crazy. It felt like a helmet had been put on. My body was screaming at me to leave. The man listened to my mom's intro, then said he was interested in hearing more and invited us in, like some do. All those things got so much stronger. The air felt like it got dense to keep me from moving. My mom looked at me and she said I looked off, pale and distant. She told me that I seemed to be ill and that we should leave. As soon as we stepped onto the ground in view of the car, I was completely fine. My mom decided to take me home. We lived about 2 blocks away. A few years later, I read in the paper about how that man was arrested for rape and murder of a few women. I think one of them was as young as 16. I was 12 at the time. My mom, a dutiful witness she was at the time, was convinced the angels had stopped in and protected us.
Something was going on.
Yeah. Creepy.
Yes. Now it's time for the Witty Wrap-Up.
Yay, Witty Wrap-Up!
We are going to play a game today.
Okay.
So we're going to play the movie in a sentence game.
Okay.
And I have not looked at the answers for these, so I don't know them either.
Okay, good.
All
So
right?
we play together.
Yeah. So the first one is, 3 college professors trade in their day job to become successful exterminators in New York City.
Oh, God. I know that one.
That one's easy.
Easy. Ghostbusters.
Yep. Eccentric billionaire spares no expense to fulfill his lifelong goal of opening an amusement park, but accepts the lowest bidder for the IT.
I have no idea what
It's
that
got to
is.
be, I'm thinking Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yep, that's
Okay.
right. All right. 2 utility workers get derailed from meeting their goal when a child shows up.
2 utility workers?
That's what it says. And I accidentally saw the answer to this one. So.
Oh, 2 utility workers. A child. Jesus, I'm bad at this. I don't know. What is it?
It's Monsters, Inc.
Oh! God damn it. I wasn't thinking about cartoons.
English noblemen are arrested while searching for stemware.
What?
I do not know this. English noblemen.
Oh, is it the, oh, fuck, what's it called? Monty Python something?
Oh, maybe. Hold on, let me see. I gotta do it slow so I don't see the other answer.
Oh.
Yep, Monty Python and the Search for the Holy Grail.
That's it. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever actually seen that movie.
I've never seen it either. I'm surprised I got that.
Man steals a boat so he can fake stealing a different boat so he can steal another boat in order to get his original boat back.
What?
I do not know what this is.
Is it Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe?
I don't know. Let's find out. Na, 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 na. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yay! I got 2 right.
Town ravaged by a group of poorly kept exotic pets.
Oh, is it Jumanji, maybe?
That sounds like it could be. Let's see. Oh, no. It was Gremlins.
Oh, exotic pets.
Teen kills senior citizen upon arrival to a new land, then while on the run, teams up with 3 social outcasts to kill again.
What? I have no idea.
Teen kills senior citizen upon arrival to a new land.
Kills senior citizen?
Oh! I think I know what it is.
What is it?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, it is. It has to be.
Let me check. Yep.
That's hilarious.
All right. Let's see. 5 teens, 1 library, never forget.
5
That's easy.
library. Oh, that's, yeah. What's it called? Breakfast at Tiffany's? No.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Let me double check.
That's it. Yeah, that's totally.
I'm sure it is too. Yep. Okay. Boy Scout terrorizes a senior citizen in order to earn a merit badge.
Say that again.
Boy Scout terrorizes a senior citizen in order to earn a merit badge. I think I know what it is.
I'm not sure. It sounds like Dennis the Menace to me, but I don't know.
I think it's Up.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
Let me check.
That's totally it.
Yep. Well, I'm not as bad as I was the last time we did something like this. Jewel hoarding grandmother tells the story of a boat while
Titanic.
on board another boat. I knew that one too.
Jewel hoarding? That's great.
High school duo gets cosmic help with their history report.
Oh, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, I don't need to look that one up either. Isolated teen suffers an unfortunate accident after being separated from the woman who raised her, and only one man can save her.
I have no idea.
Isolated teen suffers an unfortunate accident.
I don't know.
Separated from. It's not like Rapunzel, is it?
Maybe.
Let me
That's
check.
that's the best guess I can come up. I mean, that's.
Oh, Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, you were close. I always forget about the cartoons.
Oh. Okay. One boy's lack of pop culture knowledge leads to the destruction of property and an epic rescue with his new friends. One boy's lack of pop culture knowledge leads to the destruction of property. Lack of pulp. I don't know this one.
I don't either.
Oh, no wonder. The Sandlot.
Oh.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Yeah, I did not think about that.
A father accidentally kills a man and then assumes his identity.
Oh. What? I don't know. These are hard.
Kills a man and then assumes his identity. I don't know. The Santa Claus.
Oh.
Duh. Guy finds a ring. Guy returns the ring.
That's easy.
Yes. Let's just double check. Yep.
The
Lord of the Rings. Young cheese pizza fanatic must protect his home from a pair of neighborhood burglars.
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Easy.
Man with a shaky marriage save Christmas by killing terrorists. I know what that is.
The Shaky Merit. Oh, that's Die Hard.
Yes. Teen learns that maintenance chores like sanding the floor can be an effective form of self-defense. That one is way too easy.
Like sanding the floor.
Yeah, that gave it away right there. Should have just left it at teen learns that maintenance chores can be an effective form of self-defense.
I agree.
Some jerk turns off the same alarm 4,798 times. Gosh, I wonder what that is. This one's easy too. A grandfather reads a book to his grandson who is home from school sick.
Yeah, that's Princess Bride.
That's the best movie ever.
Yes.
And the last one. Girl steals from her father, cuts her hair, and saves her country.
Oh, that's Mulan.
Yeah.
Some of those were hard.
Yeah,
Some of them were way too easy, though.
Yes. But at least they weren't all of them were hard. Or all of them were easy.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Send in your stories. We need them. GhoulsNightOutPodcast@gmail.com. You can rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen, and we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.